Have you ever wondered what would happen if the Earth suddenly stopped rotating? It's a fascinating and terrifying thought that has captured the imaginations of people for centuries. The Earth rotates on its axis once every 24 hours, giving us the day and night cycle that we're all accustomed to. But what if that rotation came to a sudden halt? The consequences would be catastrophic, to say the least. Everything from our climate and weather patterns to the very foundations of our planet would be drastically affected. The implications for life as we know it would be immense. In this video, we'll explore the potential outcomes of an Earth that suddenly stopped rotating. From the devastating effects on our atmosphere and oceans to the impact on our planet's magnetic field, we'll take a deep dive into the science behind this hypothetical scenario. So buckle up and get ready for an eye-opening look at the consequences of a stopped Earth. If the Earth stopped rotating, the consequences would be catastrophic. Our planet's rotation is responsible for everything from our day and night cycle to the winds and currents that shape our climate and weather patterns. So what would happen if that rotation came to a sudden halt? Firstly, the most noticeable effect would be the lack of a day and night cycle. One side of the planet would be permanently facing the sun, while the other would be in perpetual darkness. The areas in between would experience extreme temperature fluctuations, with hot days and freezing nights. This would have a huge impact on the environment, with plant and animal life struggling to adapt to the new conditions. The sudden stop in the Earth's rotation would also cause massive tsunamis and earthquakes, as the balance of forces within the planet would be disrupted. The bulge of water at the equator, caused by the centrifugal force of the spinning Earth, would redistribute itself, causing massive waves to sweep across the oceans. Meanwhile, the sudden change in momentum would cause the crust of the Earth to shift, leading to earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. Another consequence of a stopped Earth would be the loss of the magnetic field that protects us from the solar wind. Our planet's magnetic field is generated by the motion of molten iron in the core, which is in turn driven by the rotation of the Earth. Without this rotation, the magnetic field would weaken and eventually collapse, leaving us vulnerable to the solar wind and the radiation it carries. The atmosphere would also be affected by a stopped Earth. The rotation of the planet causes the Coriolis effect, which in turn creates the winds and ocean currents that drive our weather patterns. Without this effect, the atmosphere would become stagnant, leading to extreme weather events like hurricanes and tornadoes. The lack of wind and currents would also cause a buildup of carbon dioxide, leading to increased global warming and climate change. Finally, the lack of rotation would cause changes in the planet's gravity. The centrifugal force of the spinning Earth causes a slight bulge at the equator, which results in a weaker gravitational pull at the equator compared to the poles. Without this force, the Earth would become more spherical, and the gravitational pull would be more uniform across the planet. This would have a significant impact on ocean currents and weather patterns, as the uneven gravitational pull helps to drive these systems. In conclusion, a stopped Earth would have catastrophic consequences for our planet and all life on it. The lack of a day and night cycle, tsunamis and earthquakes, loss of the magnetic field, stagnant atmosphere, and changes in gravity would all have a huge impact on our environment and way of life. While this scenario is unlikely to happen, it's important to understand the science behind it and the potential consequences. The Earth is a delicate and complex system, and it's up to us to do everything we can to protect it. So there you have it, the potential consequences of a stopped Earth. While it's an unlikely scenario, understanding the science behind it can help us appreciate the delicate balance that exists on our planet. It's up to all of us to do our part to protect the Earth and ensure that it remains a healthy and habitable planet for generations to come. From reducing our carbon footprint to protecting wildlife and natural habitats, there are many ways we can make a difference. Remember, the Earth is not just our home. It's a complex and interconnected system that sustains all life. Let's work together to protect it and ensure that it continues to thrive for years to come. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more thought-provoking content.